Welcome back to my channel, Cancer. This is just another quick en route read for you. This is by the High Priestess of Light Oracle Guidebook, Sandra Ann Taylor, Kimberly Weber. Love this deck as well, and I really like the imagery. Something about it is just very intricate, but either way, just wanted to get right into the read. Again, this is general read. You're all going to be on your own timeline. Some of you may be in this energy currently, others of you may be moving forward, some of you may be sort of right in the middle, but either way, you're all making decisions, different dates. You're not all making the same decision to do certain things on a Saturday. So anyway, I'm just going to move on from that. So we've got hidden knowledge. We've also got the sacred breath and sound. We also have healing the heart, power of self-love, and then all the clarifiers below with portal and adjustment. And then we also have calming the waters. Amazing cards for the month of March. I feel like this is really the month that is transitional for you in a big way, because you've been fairly deep in your space of healing, I would say, over this past long while. But right now, the card of the Akashic Records does speak to having some kind of a quiet, silent understanding, as it indicates there. So I feel like you're pretty doing things in a very independent sort of way, more sovereignty, you know, really trying to find an understanding about life in general in your place in the grand scheme of things. So I don't feel like you're really communicating with a lot of people. A lot of your self-exploration and self-interest at this time is to help you to discover some of the secrets or the things that are hidden about you that are your personal strengths. So I feel like at this time, this is where you're really starting to communicate with yourself in a more positive way, and really realizing that you are hearing things in a different way. So you're finding solutions to problems. And this is, again, because you have a deeper understanding. There's more of a willingness, to open up to others and to the things that are around you. Some of you may be exposed to psychology or social work, as the card depicts, but either way, you could be getting a life coach, as also kind of renders in there as a support for you as you move through. But either way, there's deeper wisdom that's coming in for you. So whether you're connected to spirit on that level, or if you're getting this through some practical means, you do definitely have more access to the Akashic Records. Would be considered sort of the spiritual realm of knowledge base for all, and we all have access to it, but not everybody is grounded enough or really in search of it to really source information from that. So this is where your soul is starting to align with some of that knowledge and that deeper understanding of life. So whether this is past lives and things that you have come into touch with, you're starting to understand where your thoughts or your actions or your words, they seem to make greater sense to you, because now it allows you to sort of see how they would have impacted you in a futuristic way. So this is, again, a card of diverse wisdom when you reach hidden knowledge and Akashic Records. So it's a lot of deep reflection at this time for you, and this is where you're getting clear on the energy around you and your connections to self and to others. The card of 3, calming the waters, that's also moving things ahead. Could be in more of a creative way. So maybe there is something here that you're involving other people in as well. But I just find that you're either meditating, or there's something walking through nature. Whatever it is, you're sort of tapping into sort of your deeper levels where you're able to heal yourself. And so that's power, and that power is channeling into more of a peaceful you, more of a balanced you, more of you aligned. So I feel like this is where you're really getting in touch with your true energy. And again, I feel like you can regulate your emotions better in this period, in the month of March. And the things that you are prioritizing at this time would be peaceful activities, anything where you have deeper personal level lessons that you have that you're able to implement, like anything that is a deeper lesson, that kind of thing, because you're creating more balance by staying calm and spiritually connected at this time. So again, that's how you're weathering all storms. I don't feel like anything is out of alignment here. It just feels like you are trying to maintain your inner peace. And I feel like even if you have looked back, because this card, of course, of adjustment is looking back to sort of move 2 steps forward, right? So you're looking back into the past to sort of resolve things, sorry. And it definitely speaks to kind of a pause, but it's also how do I say, a productive pause. This is where, when you are reflecting, it's the calm before the storm. And I don't mean storm as in anything negative here, because it's all positive, but it's like you're awakening to who you really are, is what I would say here. Because the owl on top of her head and behind is really that vision, again, of making wise moves based on a lot of your history, because you're doing things in review and able to determine what works, what doesn't work, that kind of thing. There's a lot of patience in this month, and like I say, a lot of clarity and vision because of the owl. So all of these cards really move very well together, because you are, every time anything is out of alignment, you're readjusting for it, and then you're finding a more peaceful resolution to it. So again, when we get to the card of sacred breath and sound, which is the life force communication, I even feel like your communication skills are improving, based on all of that. So you have the light of the dolphin. Dolphins are known to be very peaceful creatures, and, in a very, overall, they're quite intelligent. So there's something here that sort of speaks to you flowing with all of your, flowing with your energy, flowing with your ability to communicate, knowing what to say, because you're doing it from a very personal level, and it's helping you to relieve stress at this time. And I feel like you're just overall in touch with your chi, or your ki. That's what the card indicates. So again, it's just really being mindful of your activities and seeing yourself and your space and your energy is very sacred, and that's a special way of communicating. So it is putting out a good vibration around you, and I feel like you actually have the ability to, where it once may be difficult for you to speak up, this is where you have greater courage and you're able to express yourself and you're able to share your feelings. It's just really positive, moving forward, and sort of a freeing energy. We also have the card of healing the heart. So that's where you're at right now. You're in that space of, you doing you, and you really figuring out you. And of course, whatever was, heartbreaking for you at some point, this is where you actually are starting to find self-love again and not focus on the things you can't, that aren't within your control. So again, it's personal healing. It does indicate that the 4 chakras are involved here, and it definitely speaks to going through the heart center. So again, that energy starts to lift you up, gives you more resilience, gives you more inner strength, helps you to get past heartbreak. It's all of those things, and you're actually able to let go of some of that ache from long ago, and that could be long lost loves, anything like that, or whatever those scars were, and you're able to understand that misinformation, or the things that mistreatment in childhood, you're actually able to understand. Rejection and abandonment is what the card indicates, for anything that was betrayal to you. All of those things are starting to make more sense to you, and again, you're able to move beyond it either way. So in the past, you might have been shutting down your reactions, repressing yourself, and something that might be kind of noteworthy as well is, they often say that, especially with the newer generation that's coming through, a lot of the new generation isn't able to process emotion very well, and certainly that is a very key. Emotional health and and well-being is extremely important during this, as we evolve, because if you're repressing emotions to try to keep your inner peace, you're also not communicating, but you're also building up a certain level of rage, which disempowers you because that energy is not being constructively utilized. So you're kind of blocking your own desires. But now I feel, like I said, there's something here that's starting to heal those old wounds, and you're kind of reversing that process, really, so that opens up your consciousness, and because of that, you have higher intentions. You know what you expect from yourself. If you can't get that from others, you're able to you know, choose wisely or feel that you can choose more wisely in love, and you have more care for yourself in this month. So you have the potential to vent your frustrations because you're able to take action on your own behalf, is what the card indicates, and also you're able to communicate more freely. So again, really amazing confidence that's starting to show here, and self-love. We also have the card of the portal, number 1. That is also, you know, going to be speaking, you know, huge advances for what you're going to be moving into, because once you know who you are, everything else becomes easier to move through, because you're always going to be trying to choose things that are more in line with your values and your belief systems instead of what other people want from you. So the portal is a card of awakening your consciousness, and of course that kind of card does indicate that it is a portal to inspiration. So at this time, you might be feeling more inspired. Again, you're more connected to the Akashic records because now everything is within reach. You can touch it. More creative inspiration is available to you. There's more artistic or more ability or motivation to work on financial projects or work projects. You know, there's just something that's really opening up to you in terms of expanding that flow, your vibration, all of that. There's more energy in your life in the month of March. So I also feel like this is where you have more intention going forward. And just so you know, I saw 1111 while I was speaking to that, as my timer was going here. So that does indicate that this is a path that you are destined for. This is something that you're on the right path. So don't feel that you need to, you know, realign here in any way, because you're doing the right thing. So you are in a space where you're changing your life in the right way so that you can harness the wisdom to, you know, create the best experiences for yourself. So honor those decisions, trust your choices. You are actually freeing yourself up because you're seeing more future. You're seeing more potential in your future. This is where you're expanding your consciousness. And like I say, this is where you're actually able to see things in a grander scale. I think before you were living your life in a very marginal way, where you haven't had a lot of you weren't open maybe to a lot of new experiences. There wasn't a lot of going beyond the immediate. But right now I feel like that's all changing in the month of March. You are starting to really believe in you again, and you have more self-love. So despite whatever it is you need to do, you're just going to do it because you know that you have to and you can. And like I said, you're starting to see a way forward. That's what I see in the month of March. Keep moving forward. And like I said, you are very spiritually connected here, Cancer. So I suspect the coming months are going to be heralding a lot in terms of the tarot, which I'll do that as well here. But right now we're just staying with the oracle cards. Keep moving forward.